The name folate is derived from the word foliage, which means plant leaves and branches. In 1945, folic acid was isolated from spinach. The terms folate and folic acid are both used for this water-soluble B vitamin. Folic acid is the form normally used in vitamin supplements and in fortifying food. Folic acid is readily converted to folate in the body. Folic acid is rarely found in food or in the human body. On the other hand, folates are found in food in many naturally occurring forms. Folates are the metabolically active forms in the human body. The primary coenzyme form of folate is tetrahydrofolate. Tetrahydrofolate act as acceptors and donors of 1 carbon units in a variety of reactions needed in the metabolism of amino acids and also nucleic acids. One of the main roles of folate in the body is assisting in the metabolism of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. Synthesis of DNA is dependent on folate coenzymes. Synthesis of DNA is especially important in rapidly growing cells, such as red blood cells. Folate, along with vitamin B12, is needed in the synthesis of methionine. Methionine is needed to synthesize S-adenosylmethionine. S-adenosylmethionine is used as a methyl donor within both DNA and RNA. These methyl groups can protect DNA against the changes that might lead to cancer. This synthesis of methionine from homocysteine is also important to prevent a buildup of homocysteine in the blood. Deficiency of folates in the blood results in increased homocysteine levels. These increased homocysteine levels increase the risk of fatal heart disease. Slightly elevated levels of homocysteine in the blood have been associated with thickening of arterial walls, arterial wall deterioration, and blood clot formation. Vitamin B6 and vitamin B12 are also needed to lower homocysteine levels in the blood. Folate in food is normally bound to a string of amino acids. This is called the polyglutamate form. For intestinal absorption, it is necessary for folate to be bound to only one amino acid. This is called the monoglutamate. Digestive enzymes on the surface of intestinal cells hydrolyze or split the polyglutamate into one monoglutamate and several glutamates. A methyl group attaches to this monoglutamate to enable the transport of folate to the blood, liver, and other cells. This methyl group is needed for transport, but the methyl group needs to be removed for folate coenzymes to function. Vitamin B12 is part of the enzyme system that removes this methyl group from folate, thus activating the folate. Folate may also play a role in cancer prevention. Cancer is thought to arise when DNA is damaged faster than it can be repaired. Folate assists with synthesis and repair of DNA. Folate also assists with methylation by increasing the S-adenosylmethionine in the cell. Cancer is thought to arise from excess expression of certain genes within DNA. Methylation quiets RNA replication and can help the cells regulate excess growth. Folate may be helpful in preventing breast cancer in women who drink alcohol. Sufficient folate intake has also been associated with lower colorectal cancer risk. Lack of folate in the diet can cause neural tube defects in an embryo of a pregnant woman. These can cause devastating and sometimes fatal birth defects. 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily will provide enough folate for normal embryonic development. To be assured of adequate folate to prevent neural tube defects, women are advised to take 400 micrograms of folic acid daily, either as a dietary supplement or in fortified food. Synthetic folic acid, commonly found in fortified food and in supplements, has a higher bioavailability than the naturally occurring folates. It is unusual for a synthetic vitamin to be more potent than a naturally occurring vitamin. For folates, 100 micrograms is also 100 micrograms of dietary folate equivalent, DFE. However, for folic acid, 100 microgram is considered to be 170 microgram of dietary folate equivalent if eaten with food. When eaten between meals, 100 microgram of folic acid is considered to be 200 micrograms of dietary folate equivalent. High levels of folic acid supplementation, especially above 1,000 micrograms per daily, can mask symptoms of vitamin B12 deficiency. The addition of folic acid to food is risky because some people may get enough folic acid to hide the terrible effects of vitamin B12 deficiency on nerves. Folate deficiency signs include anemia and deterioration of the gastrointestinal tract. The anemia results from abnormal blood cell division, resulting in fewer and larger red blood cells. This type of anemia is called megaloblastic anemia, referring to the large immature red blood cells. Neutrophils, a type of white blood cell, also can be abnormal. Symptoms of folate deficiency typically take a few months to develop and may result in fatigue from lower oxygen carrying capacity of red blood corpuscles. Folate deficiency can be caused by inadequate absorption, inadequate consumption, or unusually high metabolic needs for this vitamin. Drugs that can interfere with folate include aspirin, anti-cancer drugs, antacids, and oral contraceptives. Older people tend to have higher homocysteine levels and are encouraged to meet or exceed the RDA for folate. When there is excess folate in the blood, the liver puts much of the extra folate into bile. This bile goes back into the intestines, where the folate may be reabsorbed. This reabsorption of folate is dependent on healthy intestines. This reabsorption of folate by the intestines is vital. If the intestines are not healthy enough to absorb folate, then this limits the ability of the body to make rapidly growing cells. The intestinal walls are made up of rapidly growing cells. In a vicious cycle, the lack of folate can prevent uptake of folate and other nutrients. Also, alcohol drinking can decrease the absorption of folate. Leafy green vegetables are the best sources of folate. Legumes are also high in folate. Other sources include fruit and enriched grains. The RDA for folate, as expressed in dietary folate equivalents, is 400 micrograms per day for adults. A tolerable upper intake level of 1,000 mcg per day advised to prevent the masking of vitamin B12 deficiency. Folate and folic acid are not toxic. Folate in food can be destroyed by heat, light, and air, among the various cooking techniques. Microwave cooking results in the greatest losses of folate. Please like, share, comment the videos and subscribe the channel for future health beneficial videos.